With the recent news that Overwatch 2's PvE is being scrapped, it basically means that Overwatch 2 as a game has no real reason to exist, because at least from what I've seen from other Overwatch YouTubers, Overwatch 2 is just worse Overwatch 1, and it's like the whole reason Overwatch 2 existed and it was, Overwatch 2 is because the PvE was going to be that next game, that reason for Overwatch 2 to be Overwatch 2. So it's just insane now that it's gone. And I do have some strong opinions I'd like to talk about. It's obviously not a one-on-one comparison, but Overwatch 2 scrapping its PvE is literally the same as if Halo Infinite, after we waited a year for Forge, they just scrapped it and were like, yeah guys, we're not doing Forge anymore. We're just going to give you new maps and just kind of throw away the custom game aspect. So that's the best way I can compare it for. And honestly, like, as a Halo fan, I thought we had it really rough with Halo Infinite. Oh my gosh, bro. Activision Blizzard basically just said, hold my beer 343, I'm going to show you how it's done. And I know Activision Blizzard is still going to give the Overwatch 2 community like campaign missions or like little PvE things. But from what I've heard from YouTubers and people who played Overwatch in the past, you guys basically waited 3 to 4 years of no active work on Overwatch, just nothing, to have this new experience come out that you were promised. It's like, you're going to pay 3 to 4 years, but then we're going to give you this great, big, huge PvE thing. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of interested in it because I don't like hero shooters, so I was never going to play Overwatch 2 or Overwatch 1's PvP. But the fact that you guys waited 3 to 4 years now for basically nothing? That's really shameful. And honestly, guys, like, I thought us Halo fans really had it rough, but at least we get the stuff we are promised, even if it takes 2,000 years. But what kind of scares me about this is that if Overwatch 2 does well despite this, despite the fact that the reason Overwatch 2 even exists no longer exists, if they do well, that means that other live service games by AAA companies could be following in their footsteps. I mean, just imagine, hypothetically, just as an example, imagine if the next Halo game comes out and we have to wait 3 to 4 years for the campaign, and then it just never comes. And I know Halo Infinite promised the co-op campaign, but let's be real here. At least we still got the campaign. It's just a slight feature that they promised, which, by the way, I still think that is unacceptable. But just imagine they're like, yeah, you're going to get your campaign, and then the day comes, and it's like, yeah, by the way, the campaign has been canceled. We know we promised you this, and we even showed early footage of it. But yeah, we're just going to do the multiplayer. To me, that would be unacceptable, and I'm hoping this does not start the standard for other live service games, because it's already bottom of the barrel enough. We don't need it to go lower. I've also heard that the devs knew when Overwatch 2 came out that they would not be able to promise this PvE thing, and I think that is so scummy they did not communicate with their community that, hey, the PvE will not come out. All this is an engine update with worse systems than the previous Overwatch. And the reason they didn't tell the community right away is because they wanted you to buy the battle pass, they wanted you to buy the skins, they wanted you to go to the online store with the thought, I'm going to buy this stuff, and then when the PvE comes out, I'm going to have it all, and I'll be able to play it as much as I want, Because the Battle Pass had heroes in it, which is something I disagreed with. So it's like, you already give people the false expectation that you're going to give them PvE, and then they're going to buy the skins and stuff because they want to wear it in the PvE stuff when it comes out, because again, that's the whole purpose of Overwatch 2. And the devs are radio silent on it until almost a year later? That's unacceptable. I don't know what Activision Blizzard is thinking, but the community cannot let them go easy on this. That is just horrific. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys, that is morally wrong. That is morally wrong for a company to do that. It is better to give the bad news before the product comes out than to wait a year and give people false hope and expectations. Just rip the band-aid off immediately. And I don't know who at Activision Blizzard is to blame, but someone's gotta be fired for this. Whoever decided, yeah, we're not gonna tell them, just radio silence, guys. That guy needs to go away. And I'm not usually about saying that someone should be fired or anything like that, because, I want people to be employed and get their money. But at the end of the day, this is not how you run a business. This is not how you build trust and a loyal fan base. This is how you use them and treat them like trash. And honestly, the Overwatch community deserves better. And guys, I thought it was bad that Halo Infinite didn't come out with split screen co-op when Bonnie Ross, the head of 343, said it would be in the next game. But this is literally Blizzard looking at 343 and saying, hold my beer. And by the way, Overwatch fans, if you think the game's gonna get better after Microsoft acquires you, if it happens. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look at Halo Infinite and realize that you are living a lie, a delusion. You are living in a state of falsehoods. Microsoft is just as incompetent and greedy. And I'm saying this as a Halo fan, okay? I have been on this Microsoft train since late 2004, 2005. I've seen Halo devolve. We don't even have Ranked Slayer anymore, guys. Do you think Overwatch 2 is gonna be any different than Halo Infinite once Microsoft acquires them? Because I'm gonna be real with you, it's not. But for your case, I do hope I'm wrong. And this is my last statement for the video today, but don't be surprised that if despite the criticism, the hate, and controversy that Overwatch 2 is in right now, that it becomes successful, like let's say after a month or two. Don't be too surprised when other game companies of your favorite live service franchise, like Halo, like Call of Duty, like Assassin's Creed, or any of those games that have kind of a live service model, don't be surprised when they do the exact same thing. Over-deliver to their fans and then cancel it, and just act like, oh, it's cool guys, we're just gonna do the part that makes us the most money instead of what you want. And again, I get that money is important for these companies, but you should not be promising your people something and then not delivering. You should absolutely keep your promises. So, what's your opinion on this? Thank you for watching the video, and...
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.